Hey guys, we're going to make this video here with you to help create what you see on the screen, the orthographic sketch for your tabletop, sorry, not tabletop, wrong packet, for your coaster stand. So let's go ahead and jump onto Tinkercad. Again, you can use this video as a resource, so you can stop the video, rewind the video, whatever, to help you be able to make these designs on Tinkercad. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Designs, and then we're going to go to 3D Designs. We're going to make a new one. So what I want you to do is go here and we're going to rename this first coasters set, and then your last name. So coaster set singer. Make sure we go to settings, and we should have our defaults of inches and the presets of Dremel 3D40, 3D45. That's the printers we'll be using. Click make default and then click off. And then just make sure your snap grid says 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the base, and then we're going to make some example coasters that we can put on top of the base so it looks nice for your orthographic sketch. Let's start with the hard part, which is the base part. Actually, I'm kidding. That should be pretty easy. So I want to change the color, make it look kind of woodsy. So we're going to pick a darker brown stain. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the size of our base. So you're going to click where it says 1, and we're going to make our base 4 1/4, 4.25, tab 4.25. So there we go. That's our base piece. Now, the height of this needs to be adjusted. What we need to do is we need to click the center node, and we need to change it from 1 inch. We don't want it to be 1 inch thick right now. We want it to be 3/4 of an inch thick. So what you're going to do is you're going to click here on the center tab and change the 1 to 0.75. There you go. That's the big chunk of our base piece. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the dowels that we're going to put in the 4 corners for our stand. So let's go ahead and drag out a cylinder. Okay. We'll just put it right here. First thing I want to do is I'm going to change it to look more like a light wood piece. Now the cylinder pieces states on our packet that they're going to be 3 inches tall. So I'm going to go ahead and change that 1 to a 3. I'm doing it now because we want it to be 3 inches tall going all the way through the wood. So it's going to go right to the bottom. Okay, these dowels are not an inch in diameter. They're 1/4 of an inch in diameter, so 0.25. So let's change both of these numbers to 0.25. And there's our first dowel. Now we're just going to do one first to get everything set. And then from there, we'll be able to align everything perfectly the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to highlight both pieces real quick on Tinkercad, and we're going to click L. Okay, we want to align this dowel to the corner. So we're going to do the two corner pieces right there. And now we have our dowel perfectly where we want it, right in the middle. Okay. So each of the dowels are going to have to go 3/4 of an inch in to our wood. So for our example here that we have, I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to do one corner piece, and then we'll be able to do the rest of them exactly the same. So we're going to click on the dowel, and we're going to move the dowel in 4 tabs, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the right, and then up into the wood 4 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gets us our dowel where it's supposed to be. Okay. Now what we can do for this is we can Control C and Control V the dowel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it all the way to the edge. And again, I'm going to move it in the 4 times that I said I did at the other one. So I'll do the same here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now they're all in the same spot. I'm going to move it to the side. I'm going to click on the dowel we just used. I'm going to do Control V, Control C, Control V, copy paste. Take this one all the way to the edge again and go in 1, 2, 3, 4. And then finally, copy and paste this one, slide it all the way to the edge, and go in 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's our base piece. That's what it's going to look like when we're done with the wood. So that was pretty easy. Before we do anything else, we're going to highlight this, and we're going to do Control G so it's all grouped together. Again, it changed the colors. I spent all that time picking out good colors, and it moved it on me. So I'm going to click where it says solid and change it to multicolor. Okay. So For this project, Mr. Harris and I are going to let you guys make 5 coasters. So what we're going to do is we are going to pretend to make 5 coasters that we're going to put on our base. So let's go ahead and make those. So I'm going to drag a piece out. I'm just going to move the base off to the side. And remember, our coasters are 4 inches. So 4, tab 4, 4 inches, enter. And they are also not an inch thick. They are a quarter of an inch, so 0.125. Okay. And there's our coaster. Now our coasters have rounded edges. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to click where it says radius, and I'm going to drag the radius so that it curls them in. And actually what I can do is I can pick on this number, and I'm going to do 0.25, and that rounds off the corners just like our coasters are. Okay. So there's one of our coasters. Now, the cool thing is we can do multiple here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to do a Control C, Control V. And I'm going to align this so that it's right on top of the other one so you almost can't tell. But so that I can see it a little bit, I'm going to raise it up a quarter of an inch, or sorry, an eighth of an inch, which is just one click up. And then I'm going to give it a different color. Let's go with green. Okay. Control C, Control V. Okay, I'm going to slide this, oops, move it up an eighth of an inch. I'm going to slide it over so it's on top of the others, somewhat close. And then I'm going to make this a different color. How about blue? Same thing, copy, paste, slide it over on top of the others, drag it up an eighth of an inch, and then change the color to something completely different, purple. Let's do one more. So Control C, Control V, copy, paste, drag it over. And remember, Mr. Harris and I said that if you want to pay a little extra for each of the coasters, you could go ahead and pick more than 5. But for right now, just for the sketch piece, this is good enough. So now we have all of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise these up. Remember, it's 3/4 of an inch for that base. So I'm going to move these up until we hit 3/4 of an inch. There's a half, 5/8, and 3/4, or 6/8. So now that we have that up, what we can do is we can slide the base in. And again, you're probably like, whoa, these coasters aren't fitting right. Well, it's made to be at an angle. So if we move it at an angle and kind of move the base around, it will look a little closer. And again, this is just a sketch, so it doesn't line up perfectly, but that's okay. It lines up good enough for what we need for our orthographic sketch design. So to make sure this is all good to go, all I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to group it so they're all one piece. And now we have a rough example of what your base will look like with the coasters. Again, they're off a little bit because I didn't line them up perfectly. So some of the dowels look like they're overlapping. But again, this is just so that you can have your orthographic sketch looking really good here. So go ahead and make this, put the screenshots you need to into the right spots. And if you got any questions, see myself or Mr. Harris. We'd love to help you. And yeah, once we got this done, we can actually start building in the shop. So got any questions? See us.